like a burlesque dancer who just covers, shows you the foot, and you can guess what the calf is like, but she doesn't show it to you.
I think perhaps my favorite story in the Torah is the story of Dinah. She goes out and she was raped, wasn't she? I mean, she's wandering about, she's raped, but she falls in love with the guy. She's in love with the guy who raped her. Which doesn't sound a lot like rape to me, but I pass no judgments. And then Jacob's children say to the community of the rapists, "Sure, we'll join with you and marry with you if you'll submit to circumcision." And then they submit to circumcision, and on the third day, the Israelites pour down on them and wipe them out.
Right.
That's pretty hardcore.
It's very hardcore, and it's extremely hardcore, and
we don't encourage our viewers to act this way.
No.
Even though it's in the Bible.
And it was Levi and Simon, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Because Levi and Simon show up again here. Supposedly Levi and Simon are the two who are most responsible for Joseph's being thrown into the pit. And thrown into a pit is a metaphor that comes up a lot for difficult times in life, being thrown into the pit. But I just want to say something about about the animal that humans in Joseph's animal nature again. Like when you're talking about rape in the animal kingdom. Well, it's true what you said. I mean, the primary animal drive is not of sympathy for the woman; it's for the defilement. I mean, of the male property. Even the word rape comes from ravaging property. Rape was originally a legal term, I think, or like a Middle English legal term for related to property. So and I think it is wise to look at like our closest relatives among primates, because there's a lot of similarities, and yeah, I mean, there's a reason why when two men are watching, when two men are going to to consort with the same woman, their testicles actually grow slightly in size. I may have mentioned this before.
Mine does.
Yeah, right. Well, they do, but and the reason is because it's this sperm competition thing. There's this anyway. That is the root of of Joseph's kind of animal desires, and the point is that he learns. He makes the mistake enough times. He learns. He gives himself over to his higher nature rather than his animal nature, and he becomes an agent of Hashem rather than an agent of his own ego. So that's glorious for Joseph.
When Joseph interprets the dream about the 7 years of feast and the 7 years of famine, and he encourages the Pharaoh to save during the good times, I feel like that's a message for all of us in our lives in this economy or any economy.
Yes.
That to save during the good times so that you can make it through these tough times without going on charity.
I really agree. I mean, there are so many people, the whole kind of consumer debt crisis, I mean, it's all about just go, 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 go. And then things get rough and you're asked out and you feel like the world has done something to you. Well, not really. That's maybe not how you ought to live. I mean, I've always thought you save. I mean, that's why I was not in a rush I didn't feel like I had to go back to work right away after GC, because I'm a saver. And I'm not a saver because I'm a hoarder. I'm a saver because because I want to be able to take my time and not get freaked out. And I think it's a huge lesson. But it does seem like if Joseph has really transcended this his ego, I'm a little perplexed by what he does with the brothers here, as far as why he makes them jump through all these hoops, and why he. I mean, what's going on with that?
That's where Rabbi Ari Kahn, in his commentary this week,
goes further.
Is excellent. So you can find links on my website, lukeford.net.
To Ari Kahn?
To his commentary on this week's Torah portion. And this is what's going on. We might better understand the brothers' conduct in this scene if we are sensitive to their spiritual or religious needs. They are not negotiating, they are seeking punishment. They are consumed with feelings of guilt for a crime they committed many years ago, the sale of Joseph. It is this guilt they express. Ironically, the one brother who is not involved in any way with that earlier episode is Benjamin, which makes his entanglement in this episode confusing.
Yeah.
Be that as it may, the brothers have perpetrated a crime and they are now seeking punishment. They are prepared to be enslaved. Yehuda's words lead Joseph to reveal his identity, bringing the story to its bittersweet conclusion. The family is reunited, but in Egypt, where the slavery will soon begin. Moreover, their guilt in the sale of Joseph hovers over the brothers for the rest of their days. We gather that Joseph was less than overjoyed to see the people who had so mistreated him. He feigns ignorance of their identity and, remembering his dreams, accuses them of being spies. Of course, they deny the charge, yet he repeats it. He insists that in fact the brothers are spies. They interject with what seems like irrelevant information, explain that they are all brothers. The easiest explanation is that none of the dialogue makes sense. Joseph has decided to take revenge, and their attempts to defend or explain themselves are futile. Yet everything we know from the preceding narrative, everything we have learned about Joseph's personality, indicates that he is neither impetuous nor whimsical. He is visionary, he considers long-term consequences and implications. So too, when he confronts his brothers, Joseph has a plan. Like a master chess player, he's already thought through all of his moves, their counter moves, and his endgame. Accusing the brothers of espionage may have been a preventative strike. Joseph is aware that his rags to riches story is well known in Egypt, and he has thought that the only way of preventing his brothers from hearing the details of his miraculous ascent to power. Once he has accused them of being spies, Joseph effectively prevents his brothers from asking the Egyptians, "Who is this Joseph? Where did he come from?" Once they have been charged with spying, such inquiries would effectively prove them guilty, resulting in imprisonment or death. Outflanked, the brothers must now proceed in silence. They cannot ask probing questions about their inquisitor. There's another reason Joseph chooses this particular charge. When he accuses them of being spies, he inwardly wants them to admit that they are in fact looking for something, or more precisely for someone, their brother Joseph. Perhaps what Joseph wants more than anything is to hear these words from his brothers. They are searching for him, just as so many years earlier when Joseph met an anonymous man in the field who asked him what he was looking for. Joseph responded, "I seek my brothers." The words echo and haunt us. Despite all the enmity, jealousy, and hatred, ultimately Joseph is only seeking out his brothers. He hopes that his brothers will ask the anonymous, unfamiliar man who stands before them, "Have you seen our brother?"
Aww.
Isn't that good?
Yeah. That's really something.
I don't think the brothers are looking for Joseph. I think he's the last person they want to run into.
Yeah. but the idea that he would be holding out hope for that is kind of heartbreaking.
Yeah, like they almost killed you, but instead they sold you for slavery, and yet you want them to look for you?
It reminds me of a Gordon Lightfoot song called, I think it's called "Did She Mention My Name?" It's about a guy who goes to a town where there was a woman who he loved, and he's asking questions about the town, asking different people different things, and all he wants to hear is one of them say that the woman had asked about him, but it doesn't come.
Sounds a little bit about like the Nelson Algren novel Walk on the Wild Side, where a guy falls in love with a woman who moves to New Orleans and becomes a prostitute. And he goes looking for her. Which is also like, what's that novel? Is it Of Human Bondage? Where the guy's a cripple and he falls in love with this woman who becomes a hooker.
I don't know. I like the narrative though. But that's very sad, because Joseph, I have to admit, I've been looking at him because it's my name, and I've met Jews who tend to say your name is not an accident, and so I was looking for things in him, and I haven't found him a very sympathetic character so far, but that makes me like him a lot. Makes me empathize with him a lot more, because he did say that, and I wondered in the previous portion why they put that in, that he was wandering through a field asking for where his brothers. So to think that this is why, that he's still asking that question after all this time is heartbreaking for him.
It's interesting. Joseph says to them on the third day, "Do this and live. I fear God." And looking at the commentary.
Yeah, that jumps out too.
So accordingly, I will not keep all of you imprisoned while your families are starving. I'll release most of you home.
Right. I mean, I fear God. I read there as saying, "Look, I'm not lying. I'm not sadistic. I'm not going to kill you or torture you for the sake of it."
But it implies that if I didn't fear God, I would kill you.